Alright, welcome to another episode of Midlifers. So today we have a really exciting episode. I think many of you haven't attended a Thaipusam festival before. It's just Ian and me. We woke up at like 5 a.m. CJ was supposed to join us, but he's not here. So before we go down and see what the festivities have, let's just go through a simple do's and don'ts list. Generally speaking, you want to wear bright, colorful colors. Avoid funeral colors that are like black or white. And then if you want to blend in, you can wear something orange or something yellow. If you do want to go into the temple itself, then it's best to wear long pants or something like a sarong just to cover up your knees. Of course, if you're female, you're on your period, or let's say you're injured and you're bleeding, then you should not be entering the temple per se. Of course, a lot of the devotees here have spent many days preparing for this. So please don't get in the way of their devotion, their celebration. I'm sure they are more than happy to have you there, but just be a bit mindful, be a bit respectful, and I think you'll have an amazing time. For our international viewers, this is one of the unique facets of Singapore. If you're Singaporean, you probably might not even know this festival exists because it's not a public holiday. But Ian and I, we took a leave today just to attend this festival. So we hope you enjoy this episode, and let's get started. Okay, so we're at the festival grounds, more or less. We're just outside the temple. For those of you who don't know, Thaipusam is actually a celebration. It's sort of like the good winning over evil. Lord Murugan actually fought a celestial being called Surapadman, and he defeated him. And that's why we're celebrating this festival. Alright, so we're just outside the temple grounds. This is where all the devotees, they get ready. Behind us, we're not going to film that part. They're just showering to physically clean themselves. Then after that, all the devotees here outside Srinivasa Perumal temple will be getting pierced, preparing all their milk pots, just in preparation for the Kavadi, carrying all the way to the Murugan temple at Tank Road. Of course, this process is quite elaborate, so they might be here for an hour. They will be actually blessing all the equipment they'll be using, and then after that, they will go in front of the idols, the shrines, and then they will do like a short prayer before they set off on their journey. So with Thaipusam, there's actually two stories that are connected to the festival. Thaipusam itself is celebrated because Lord Murugan defeated Surapadman, who's a deity, who was a bit tyrannical to all those around him. The other story that's involved with Lord Murugan is the story of Idumban. Idumban himself was carrying out a task. Lord Murugan kind of tricked him and then got him to help him move some mountains to a different location. Idumban did try to start a fight with Lord Murugan, which he lost. Having lost the battle, Idumban, of course, sought the forgiveness of Lord Murugan and asked him to bless him or give him one wish, that anyone who carries a burden with them, such as what he did, he carried 2 hills on his shoulder. Anyone who carries such a burden, then they should be blessed with a wish that they want. And that is why you will notice that for Thaipusam, a lot of the devotees, they carry a Kavadi. A Kavadi loosely translates to a burden. So for those who are not familiar with the festivities, what happens is outside the temple grounds, usually people will perform some rituals. They will set up their own Kavadis, and then they will go to that part there. You have a statue of Lord Murugan. They will do some praying, some devotion to him. Before they go to this area here, this temple itself is not dedicated per se to Lord Murugan. It's actually dedicated to Lord Vishnu. So they will come here, they will do some final prayers to the Lord of this temple before heading off on their Kavadi journey. This is the classic Kavadi. It's basically a burden that you carry over your shoulder with two weights at the side of it. So if you look at him, he basically is carrying what we consider a very classic Kavadi. Many people do this in a lot of parts of the world where there's a huge Tamil Hindu population. Down here we have like a pop-up station. There'll be many such stations throughout the route in this procession. They usually provide water, they provide food for devotees. Actually anyone who is here, if you're hungry, you're thirsty, you can always pop by. They usually will give you some refreshments so that you can carry on your journey to the Tank Road Temple. Alright, so there's many kinds of Kavadis. Kavadi just stands for a burden, a physical burden that you're carrying. So the two simplest ones are usually a pot, either filled with sanctified water or it's filled with milk, and they will usually carry it all the way through. Another type of Kavadi is of course the ones you see behind us. Okay, these are a bit more elaborate. They're called mild Kavadis. They are like peacock Kavadis basically. So they're pierced into you. There's some that have a chariot, so that it's pierced to your back and you're pulling a chariot. There are some Kavadis that are somewhere in between. They're just like two weights on a staff that you're carrying on your shoulder. And in very, very rare circumstances, you will see like a toddler Kavadi where the parents, they're actually carrying their newborn within the Kavadi. This is exceedingly rare, but you do see that sometimes. That's usually in thanks for the couple being blessed by a child, especially after years or maybe perhaps infertility. Throughout the procession, there are small shrines that are set up. There's one right behind us. So in front of this shrine, all the Kavadi carriers usually will perform a small Kavadi dance and do a slight prayer before they continue with the procession. Alright, so we are currently more than midway through. It rained a bit. Ian and I took a short break. We grabbed something to buy, something to drink. But I think we have a newfound admiration for all the devotees here who've been doing this whole procession. This route that we're taking is actually from Srinivasa Perumal Temple all the way to the Tank Road Murugan Temple. This route is more or less fixed. Previously, in olden times actually, the processions happened at various temples and this involved quite a few temples. But nowadays, for convenience, it's actually confined to these two temples and most of the devotees will make this like pilgrimage from one temple to another. We're midway through. I'm a bit tired as it is, so I guess we have this newfound admiration for all of them. Okay, so we're at the end of the procession. We're opposite Sri Tendayupatani Temple. It's the Murugan Temple. This festival is dedicated to Lord Murugan. That's why it ends right here. We are not gonna go in because the queue is like an hour and a half long, and we didn't want to wait in the crowd. So at the end of the procession, most of the Kavadi bearers, they will do one final dance to the Lord, offer their offerings that they carried, like milk, sanctified water, and Panjat Mitram. Yeah. Of course, after that, they will take off everything and I guess finally earn their well-deserved rest. I hope this video has been educational and you've learned a little bit more about Singapore's rich culture. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. I'm not the best, but I will try my best to explain as much as I can.